With The Bad Guys 2 finally out, it's time for me to be honest and say that I think The Bad Guys is overrated. Okay, I'm not saying I dislike it. I really do enjoy it, but it's not the Jesus Christ to animation everyone seemingly wants it to be. I mean, I highly doubt anyone would willingly, without a gun up to their head, say they like The Bad Guys over Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and coincidentally, both came out in the exact same year. Now, although the trailer team over at DreamWorks dropped the ball hard when it came to advertising, this movie is surprisingly less stupid than I thought it was going to be, and instead is this really well thought out movie with little to zero wasted time dilly-dallying on plot details we don't care about. Like, I was truly surprised this wasn't the Shrek 3 of The Bad Guys duology, and I'm glad it's not, because I think the sequel does deserve all the praise the first had, plus some, because this is some really captivating stuff that had possibly more originality than the original. But you're not here for me to talk about the whole thing, but instead, you're here for me to talk about one specific character. Now, although I really wanted this to be about Wolf. Sadly, it's not, but if you want that, go ahead and hit the like button. I'll set an easy 100 likes for me to make a video about Wolf. But today, we're talking about the main villain of the movie, and oh boy, am I excited, because in some ways, I see her reflected in my own channel. Not in me, of course, because name me a YouTuber that is pure evil. Go on, I dare you. What I mean, though, is that I see a lot of similarities with Kitty and my guy, Miguel O'Hara, but I'm jumping to conclusions too soon, so let's talk about how The Bad Guys 2 teaches us how to write a deceitful villain. Enchanted, why did you bring Miguel O'Hara into all this? He's not even a villain in the movie he was in, so why are you comparing an actual full-fledged villain to an antagonist? Well, to understand that, we have to make our way there. When it comes to Kitty, her progression throughout the film is built on the trust, or lack thereof, from others. It's not even that Kitty is untrustworthy, it's more that she would do anything to get what she wants, no matter the people she will hurt along the way. It takes a villain group and turns it into a villain that is actually pulling on the strings in her own favor and not anyone else's. Her deceitfulness is something we can see from the very beginning, where she has her friends do something in her name in order to get the bad guys to where she wants them. She hasn't even appeared yet for the whole first act, yet somehow her presence is still there being acted upon by others. It's foreshadowing for what's later to come, since she doesn't put any effort herself and instead makes her crew believe that her needs are their needs, even if it jeopardizes their personal relationships they had with others. Kitty's not only manipulative, but she's also extremely persistent on getting what she wants. When Snake is in trouble and Doom wants to save him, Kitty refuses giving him a thought when it would mean that their mission would have to be cut short. As she said, it's not about the loot, it's about the power move, which is more like it's not about money, it's about sending a message. Okay, wait a minute, maybe it's less original than I thought. According to Kitty's logic, no one's life is above hers, and as she uses violence on Doom in order to shut her up and make her do her bidding. It's the same thing that happens over and over, like when Kitty makes the bad guys get everything prepped for her so that she can let the bad girls prep the what's it called again? The MacGuffinite, in order for her to click the button that attracts all the gold on the planet to her. The more and more I actually say this out loud has drawn me to another conclusion. She's the brawn of the team with no actual brain. She makes everyone else do everything for her so that she can be the person to take all the credit, and I believe this is what makes her a great example of a deceitful villain. She's manipulative, yes, but what makes her deceitful is that she keeps telling them what they are doing is what they all need to do, which is a step past just manipulating them. She has them so locked into this fantasy that the bad girls are shocked in the end to see that Kitty actually has been doing this all for herself, breaking the sort of religious perception they have of her. In the end of the movie, though, when all of her secrets come out and she loses all the people she was close to, she basically turns into Miguel O'Hara. I don't have footage of the final fight since it's still in the theaters, but it's basically like the final fight of Across the Spider-Verse, where she's going all out with her claws and full-on aggression. That it revealed this thing to me in the moment of why exactly I was getting Miguel O'Hara vibes from her. As I mentioned before, she's very persistent, and when she gets so blinded by sending this message, power move, she sees Wolf as the blaming force that is the reason everything she has built up may have come crashing down. And yes, I mean that figuratively and literally. The biggest differences, of course, is that Miguel O'Hara is a man. He's a vampire, not a cat, and he's actually not a villain. Kitty is what I would imagine Miguel O'Hara would be if he was born a villain and was actually trying to kill Miles. Although yes, he does go really ballistic on Miles at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, I don't actually believe he would have killed him, even though it seemed like that was his goal. Kitty was definitely trying to kill Wolf and take out all her frustration onto him, since although there were multiple components to why her plan failed, she just saw Wolf and went with it. Overall, her deceitful nature was her downfall, since it lost her the trust of her friends and got her into jail to rot forever, or at least until The Bad Guys 3 comes out. Or whenever, DreamWorks stops making absolute garbage like this.
Looks like Cakey got fakey.
Oh, you're asking who this guy behind me is? Well, come really close so I can tell you. So apparently, Daddy YouTube is now deciding whether you're a child or an adult by what you're watching, so I'm putting the main doctor from Human Centipede in the background to do both me and you a favor so our accounts don't get censored. I'm trying to meet Daddy YouTube in the middle here because for some reason they think animation is only for kids and no adult can get a kick out of it. I also must add before I finish this video, since a lot of you liked my source video and how I talked about Rihanna's acting, I really want to quickly talk about how Danielle Brooks actually did a really good job at playing Kitty. She didn't do amazing in the Minecraft movie, admittedly, but that's because the script did nothing with her. But in Peacemaker, I remember she was really good in that role, and this movie reminded me why, even though they were much different characters. She adds a part to Kitty where she sounds really trusting before realizing that she is actually just pure evil, almost like an actual cat. When she talks to Wolf in the one scene after they completed the Elon Musk heist, she reveals that her first heist was for a lollipop. And it actually adds on not only onto her character, but it helps show the audience when she is being genuine and when she is putting on an act. Because just like a serial killer, if they're ranting to you or showing you their face, there is a good chance you won't be living long enough to tell the story. But of course, in order to hide their tracks, Kitty sets up Wolf and the gang so they can get arrested again. Her tone of voice is very different during the scene compared to others, like she is being too friendly, which set off some red flags in me that something bad was going to happen. Absolutely hopeless. Danielle Brooks really does this character justice and accurately represents the deceitfulness of her just by the voice. And I'm no expert in the books, but I gotta say, she probably did a really good job. Once again, if this video gets 100 likes, I will make a video about Wolf, because it's either that or I talk about Freakier Friday or weapons. And I feel like Daddy YouTube would like me to talk about more bad guy stuff. So no, I'm not being held hostage, you are. By the way, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because I'm trying to reach 40k subscribers before the end of the year, and I need your help to accomplish that since we only have 4 months left. With that said, thank you everybody for watching. I'm Enchanted. Bye.